Hello and welcome to Katowice, Poland, Game Day 5, the final game day of Group D, as we see France take on Iceland. This is the 2025 FIBA EuroBasket. We're live currently in the Spodek Arena, in which today it could be different outcomes for the three teams looking to book their spot as the #1 team in this group, as they will get ready to face off in the round of 16. Well, here are your matchups today. We do begin with France versus Iceland. Israel, one of the other favorites to go #1 in this group, will take on Slovenia, while the third team looking for that first place will be Poland, as they will have the final matchup against Belgium. Well, we'll take a look at the standings. Currently, the Israelis are #1 in this group. Remember, they had a big win against France, but France's first defeat against Poland has changed things. Those standings could indeed change by the end of today. Well, I'm your commentator, Josh Bett, alongside Azania Stewart, who did play for Great Britain at the 2012 London Olympics. And Azania, today, anything is possible.
Yeah, I kind of love that this is our last game, day 5, that everything's still on the line, especially the top 4 teams that have made it. Like you said, they're 3-1. The one thing France can't do is disrespect Iceland. They work so hard. They're a blue-collar team. They're going to get out in fast break transition. They're averaging 14 points from that transition. You know, they were down 14 points versus Slovenia, and they, took a last punch at it. They've got their big filler who's playing so well in Henderson, who's first in block shots and first in rebounds. There he is. He's getting double-doubles. They're a great team. They just haven't figured out a way to get a win in this EuroBasket. But one thing you can't do is doubt them or disrespect them.
And absolutely right. You got to imagine France. I mean, this team is stacked with talent. Now, they are going to be without Alexander Sarr yet again. But you see this first man coming out, Sylvain Francisco. Since that big game he had, he's been relatively quiet, Z.
Yeah, I would agree with you. He had that 32 points versus Slovenia and only had 2 points in that, the Israeli loss. So they're going to need him. They had one of those games where they had 78 points off of the bench. I thought that's their strength. Kind of dropped off a little bit, but what is their strength is that man there, their captain, Japrusile. He's been playing outstanding. And that last game where they needed that win versus the home team in Poland, where it was very, a difficult game with a packed-out crowd, he knew he had to lead by example, and he sure did. He came out and he scored 36 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists.
Head coach Freddie Fatu, of course, knows that this team is elite, but he wasn't happy after that defeat against Israel. But like Poland and Israel, they could finish top of the group. Well, fans, the very best part of the day, we're going to stand for the national anthems of both France and Iceland.
For the national anthem of Iceland. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the national anthem of France.
Well, Iceland's 2,000 fans that have made the trip, sing loud and proud. There they are. A couple of French fans right behind the basket, but they've done a lovely job in making a nice atmosphere in game one.
Well, it is the time that we introduce, of course, our 3 referees for tonight's game, and we're very proud to say that we have 3 of the very finest. Well, coming from Hrvatska, Croatia, we have Man Vulic. From Turkey, Jena Yilmaz. And from Czechia, Ivor Matijak. A very big thank you to our officials. They've done a magnificent job so far here in Katowice, and they'll continue to do a great one tonight between France and Iceland. Well, as the song says right now here in the arena, here we go. And see, we will begin with the starting lineup. We will take a look at the Icelandic starting 5. Now, great coach Craig Peterson of Iceland knows that they're inching closer. Remember, they've never won here at a FIBA EuroBasket, but Henningsen, that is going to be a big difference. Hermansen as well in the backcourt, and Gunnarsson, so complete different change-up in the backcourt. No the Friedrichsen there, and of course you got Bjornsson, but of course you got to go with the big man. He has got to play between 35 and 40 minutes if they're going to pick up that first victory. Yeah,
they've completely changed their starting lineup, but what they haven't changed is this man right here. He's just been solid, and you know, he has been dominant, but I felt like getting better throughout the tournament in the fact of he's putting the defender and the ball in the basket.
Coach Craig Peterson, of course, went from Canada all the way to Scandinavia, played professionally in Denmark, worked with their national team as an assistant, but then found his way to Iceland, and you know, he's done a magnificent job making this team competitive in the qualifiers, getting them to EuroBaskets, but they haven't won a game yet. That could change tonight, as now we take a look at head coach Freddie Fatu's players. Well, you're like a kid in the candy store. Same 5? Yep, there you see Yabusele, Cordinier, Maladon, Jete, and Koulibaly. I mean, that is a very strong lineup if you ask me. Yeah,
that's the 5 that they've been going to every game. And what I'm interested to see before we talk about Yabusele is this is France's first 2 p.m. game. You know, can they get themselves together? It's a more earlier start. We'll talk about that in a second, because this man right here, 36 points and 6 rebounds. I spoke about how he wanted to lead by example. He is the captain. He's going to New York Knicks this season, and so he really, you saw it in his face. And I love the nice mix that Yabusele has of the fact of he's dominant, he's strong, but has fun with it. He never's taking it too seriously, and that lovely mix and blend of you know, just free and how he plays was shown last game.
Derrière, t'as Bilal, t'as Gersh, t'as Isaiah ici. C'est bon là-dessus? Ok? Si on score, on continue à jouer ça. Sinon, on n'hésite pas à jouer turn down avec le Spanish éclaté et vous écartez. Par contre, ce qui est sûr encore plus.
Well, a big shout out to our sponsor for tonight's game. The Tissot countdown to tip-off is already underway, and a big thank you to Tissot for a magnificent partnership with FIBA International Basketball. And there again is Coach Craig Peterson. Because as a player representing Bakken Bears, anybody that follows the Basketball Champions League is they are one of the most elite teams in Scandinavia. But as you said, I mean, you got to love it. The Icelandic fans, you speak with many of them. A lot of families are here. A lot of people related to the players. And I've even seen Tryggvi Hlynarsson's former youth coach. I mean, it's such a communal, well, a very, traveled community, of course. You know, they're very close-knit. But tonight, you've got to go up against the man who will be going to Madison Square Garden next year. And as the PA announcer said in the warm-up, he had a moment that will be remembered in basketball history at the Olympics last summer. The one-handed throwdown on the King LeBron James himself.
Yeah, really, you know, he was in the NBA before, but I really felt like that put him on the map and put the respect. And what also I'm loving about this game is that everything's to play for, not only in this group where, you know, 1 to 4 is going to be decided in today. There's 11 different situations that can happen, but then you don't know who you're going to cross over with, because the other group with Bosnia, Georgia, Spain, and Greece, they don't know their spots either. So super fun last day here in the group stage.
Well, no Alexander Sarr yet again, but still you can pick anybody from this French lineup to fill that position. They're quick, they're mean, they're aggressive, and they want to finish #1. Even with a win today, they'll have to find out how other results depending on who goes from 1 to 3rd. The Group D will cross over with Group C. at the round of 16. Here we go. We're live in Katowice. France finding ways to break down the Iceland defense. Jete in the paint. That's a good start for Les Bleus, but see, that's a little too easy if you ask me.
Way too easy, but France always do a good job establishing their big guys down low.
Oh, again, Jete just putting his hand in the passing lane, and here we go. Throws it down easily.
Good start.
I was going to say, in just over 30 seconds, France getting 2 very quick field goals, one of them off the back of an Icelandic turnover.
Yeah, 4 points for man Jete. He's focused.
Very interesting decision to leave Friedrichsen out of the starting lineup. Now Hermansen finds a gap. It's a good move, but he's unable to finish. Well, I feel one area that Henningsen's going to offer some success to the Icelandic offense is going in for second chances. Jete kicks out. Maladon down the middle. Well, good defense. Iceland come up with it, and now they want to run.
Well, Iceland averaging just around.
Oh, great penetration, but you've got to finish that one.
Got to.
Because now here comes Les Bleus. Koulibaly goes in, get it denied. But Jete with a follow-up.
Well, good job from Jete, and Henderson is averaging 2.5 blocks a game. He gets that first, but they've got to get the rebound.
Little jump hook. Peterson, offensive rebound. Now getting the first points for Iceland.
And guess what else the big fella's averaging? #1 in rebounds. He's averaging 12 rebounds a game. You need to box him out. It's a nice stat, isn't it?
Well, it's finally one stat Luka Doncic isn't leading here in the EuroBasket.
He's leading in points and assists.
Yabusele makes the contact, goes for the fadeaway, and that's unguardable.
Exactly that. That's unguardable, but also just hits it with such ease, so smooth, and runs back like nothing had happened.
Another penetration. There's the bump. Good defense by Koulibaly. Iceland will retain this with 11 on the shot clock.
That's a lot on that. Let's have a look. Nope, all ball.
Yep.
Good, no call.
It was
the steal.
the turnover by Jete.
Yeah. You love that when your big guy is getting out.
Hermansen. Pump faking. Now pulling up again, mid-range.
Pretty.
That's where he's had a lot of success. In the last game, he finally was able to get his first 3 three-point field goals in the EuroBasket. They depend on his offense.
They do, indeed. You're right. He had 22 points and 6 rebounds.
Maladon coming off a screen. Pulls up a 3. Jete right now showing more hunger as now he comes up with the offensive board. Takes on Peterson. Now he's going to work.
He sure is.
6 points already for man Jete.
8 points, 8 points.
Oh, 8 points, okay.
Yeah.
Bjornsson, he'll pull up for the mid-range. Just a little too strong, but a foul is going to be called on the ground. I think that's going to be on man Jete.
Let's have a look. This is him being dominant, takes his time, turns over that shoulder. Stunning post move. You know I love a post move, Josh.
Absolutely. The old school back to the basket post move.
Old school indeed.
Yabusele trying to contest the interception. Nowhere to go here. Finds Hermansen. Time winding down for Iceland. Hermansen kicks out. Henningsen got to get it off. Wow, try to go in, but Yabusele said no, monsieur. What a block. There's a foul. And Yabusele at the moment, we talk about his 36 points. But defensively, this is why he is going to Madison Square Garden next season. Because he can defend 1 through 4.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a tough player. There's
Absolutely.
no doubt about it. Right here, Yabusele said, pas chez moi, not in my house.
And the thing is, and this is what I liked about this French team, is their layers of defense. You might blow past your main defender, but then there's 2 guys and a block shot at the rim protecting it. This is where they were dangerous in game day 1 and 2.
Well, it's a tough challenge for head coach Freddie Fatu because, you know, not only are you picking up right where Vincent Collet left off from the Paris Olympics. You've also got, I said this on game day one when they first had their first victory. It's a nightmare that you've got so many talented players, and as you head into the round of 16, here is where you've got to find the right formula. You got to win 4 games after this to become EuroBasket champions. And the question I've always posed is, are you going to keep these same rotations when they head to Latvia?
I don't know if it's a nightmare, Josh. I think it's more
That's
luxury.
tough, at least, though. Is it a luxury, though? Because there's too many options.
Too many options is great for me.
Friedrichsen kicks out. Quick 3 by Iceland. On target, but not finding the bottom of the net.
But, you know, throughout this tournament, they've gone 12 deep, now 11 with Sar's injury.
Well, there again, Mr. Unguardable making it a 10-point game for Les Bleus. As there is the #1 pick in the NBA draft last summer, coming off the bench for France, Isache.
Bousselet being really assertive right now.
Henningsen throws a screen and getting the first 3 points for Iceland.
And that's a good look for Iceland. You know, they've been struggling from the 3-point line. At one point they were 14%. They managed to bring it up to 24% and get hot in that game versus Slovenia.
Maladon, you can't go under the screen. France will make you pay.
Well, France has had their struggles from the 3-point line, shooting 29%, but both teams knocking down their first threes.
Henningsen made his last 3. Trying to find a kick out. Friedrichsen under pressure. On target. Cordinier comes up with it. Now takes on the entire Icelandic defense and extending France's lead to 12 points. Well, France coming up with a steal. Maladon. Well, no complaints from head coach Freddie Fatu. He likes the defense. He appreciates the hustle. Hermanson going back door. Another kick out. Well, a foul is going to be called on the ground. The 3-pointer will not count. It's only going to be the second team foul for France.
That's a good job from Henderson. And I felt like he deserved more minutes, Henderson. So good that he's into the starting lineup. Number 3, Steinarsson is into the game. There's a nice finish from Cordinier. And Steinarsson, number 3, with the green shoes. His defense is so elite. There's a foul from Koulibaly.
See, you look at the French lineup. They brought in Jalen Hoard and Zachary Isache. That's a very big lineup for France. I mean, the smallest player being Théo Maladon.
Yeah. Hoard is 6'8". Isache obviously standing at 6'9" as well.
High arc in 3. Steinarsson saves it.
Oh, good job running that down.
That's the kind of hustle they need.
Yeah.
Oh, Friedrichsen left wide open. Unable to finish. But France come up with the board.
You're right, this is a big lineup for France.
Koulibaly matched up with Henningsen. Working that screen with Jete. Turning it over. Now, Iceland don't have the numbers. France only has 1 foul to give. Have to find ways to break down the big defense inside the paint. Steinarsson, alley-oop. That's what you want to see from Peterson. Bumping, going in, but he just cannot finish. The superior paint protection by Jete.
I like that battle between these two.
Because Peterson's never had as big a post test. Maybe you could say that with Sorkin and the Israelis, but Koulibaly finds Jete, goes in. That's where France are going to make you punish you. They're going to go in for second chances. Nice to go for a quick 3. But they turn it right back over. Not a good play by Gunnarsson.
No. They're averaging just under 15 turnovers. They've got to look after the ball. France always makes you pay.
France looking to extend their lead. Over 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. Maladon again, finding it from 15. It's up, and it's automatic. And now, indeed, a 16-point lead as Iceland will call timeout. See, I'm not quite sure that was the right starting lineup to go with.
No, they changed it up, and they weren't ready. This is lovely. Look at the footwork, smooth release, lovely follow through, and knocks it down. And here's a bird's eye view of good ball movement. The big fella, Jete, is leading the scorers for France, has 8 points. As Yabusele says, yes, well done, guys. D'accord, d'accord.
Well, we're going to go to Iceland's bench. Let's hear what Coach Peterson has to say.
Just this with a pick and pop with Elmar. Okay, so we're coming up. When you go by, you're going to pop out. Okay, after that, if it's not open, Elmar, come back to the ball, pop it to him, and start running split screens. Okay? Quick action. Hey, we can't dribble ourselves out of problems. You need to release the ball and cut and move. Come on, hey, we got the flat, hey, we got very miklu meira frágur en óþægilegir.
Well, fans, you just saw the QR code for courtside 1891. Next time you see it, scan it, download the app where you can watch the rest of the FIBA EuroBasket and all extended highlights of further FIBA competitions. Courtside 1891. Download it today.
Well, you can see Mam's highlights. JT doing a wonderful job around the rim, being assertive. 3 rebounds, 8 points. Come out locked and focused. This, like I said, their first 2 p.m. game, but you've got to be ready. And as they move on to Riga, there'll be 4 games a day, and those games start at 11 a.m.
Well, pick and pop, what Peterson wanted. That's a good look, though. I've got no arguments to that offense. You can't give up high percentage looks from the perimeter.
Well, they're 1 from 6 right now from the 3-point line. I thought they did a good job changing it up against Slovenia, where they weren't knocking it down in the first, so they got into the paint, where in the second half started to heat up.
Francisco now in the backcourt here for France. Risa Shea, catch and shoot from 3. It's up, and again, like everybody else, it's becoming automatic. This is good as Fredriksson, and get it tonight. Well, did Risa Shea knock that out when it was coming down, or did he meet it at the summit?
Wow.
I'm impressed he was able just to get a fingertip to it.
Yep. And he scored and sprinted back. Let's see. It's difficult to see.
That's close.
This is his 3-point shot.
I'll tell you what, sorry to cut you off,
Yeah,
Steve, but I've been impressed with him since he played for the U17s
'Teens
in the summer of 2022. It's the range on his 3-point shot, the confidence he built. I mean, he has really, and again, he was #1 pick in 2024 for a reason, I get it, but he has improved all areas of his game.
And it's how quick he gets the release off, you know, only 20 years old. I can't wait to watch this guy's career unfold.
Francisco behind the back. Pump fake, no foul given. Now indeed a 19-point lead to France.
Lovely patience from Horde to use the reverse.
Paulson only just subbed into the game. Allison trying to take on Risa Shea. That's going to be the 4th and final team foul against France with 1:49 to go here in the first quarter. Well, look at the behind the back dime, but the tough finish, see. You know how hard it is to make points under pressure in the paints.
And just a good choice to let the defense fly by.
Steinason will try to find Fredriksson, but you know, you can really appreciate what the French backcourt are doing. They're getting in Iceland's faces. They're, you know, trying to make everything very difficult. The passes must be on point for Iceland.
Yeah, but France's feet, hands are always active. They're long, they take up space. So it's difficult to get anything going. Spoke about Kobu. I think he's been solid piece for France, really consistent.
Well, there's the post move.
TLC. Timote.
Very versatile game indeed.
Yeah.
Well, nice pass, trying to find Allison, but it's intercepted. Now Jalen Horde, nice Euro step going in, finishing. The lead just gets bigger and bigger right now.
That's a stunning move. A little Euro step in EuroBasket. It's the best place to do it.
Well, there's a deep 3. This one's still struggling from the perimeter. Now Francisco. Finding Luau Cabarro, he'll fire through, and everything just folding in now. The lead just keeps on getting bigger for Les Bleus. Iceland right now just feel like the confidence has plummeted. In that case, nobody going in for an offensive rebound.
No. The second chance points, only 2 for Iceland.
Final shot coming up for France. Elia Kobo, defended by Fredriksson. Down the middle, bit of contact, but he doesn't get the ad one. But it will indeed become 2 free throws for France. That was only the second team foul for Iceland here in the first quarter.
Oh, this is nice decision. You see the hit on the elbow. The lefty. Really, honestly, I like him. The way he's been playing, he's been averaging those double digits for this team. Also getting it done on the assist area. He had 10 assists and 14 points in their last game versus Poland. He's averaging 5. There's the last shot.
That is the end of the first quarter. Iceland, unfortunately, weren't able to get to 10 points or more, but they are down currently. Heavily hit of France, 36-9 in favor of France. And it was a different starting lineup for Iceland. You kind of felt with the quick backcourt they have of Fredriksson, Hermansen, and even the likes of Leo Stanison that probably they were able to compete, but they went differently. And see, right now, they've got to find some identity because you look at the stats here, France are very dominant.
Yeah, and 36 points in the first quarter is just not going to cut it. That's putting France, you know, looking for an over 100-point win. Here's your first quarter best plays, and it's all the French. Everyone getting involved. JT started them off strong with those 8 points around the rim. And then Timothée got involved. Nice little jumper. Yabusele did his job. And just waves of pressure. And this is where France really show off. You called it a nightmare. I called it a dream of where they can go deep into their bench and they don't fall in energy, in height, in athleticism, and it's really overwhelming Iceland where they can only put up 9 points in this quarter.
Well, so far, France, indeed, the scoring has been, you know, fairly evenly distributed. Matt Jetse leading the way, but Mateo Maladon having some success coming up those ball screens as Risa Shea, the 6th man of this team, coming off the bench. And then you see again with TLC, Loau Cabao has 5 points tonight, but Iceland, their final game here of the group stage, 3rd FIBA EuroBasket, and yet to already record a victory.
Yeah, and they had that disappointing loss versus Belgium. They were leading the whole way.
Well, scan that QR code, download Courtside 1891 so you can follow the rest of the FIBA EuroBasket as teams will be heading to Riga. Download Courtside 1891 where you can watch all the streams and extended highlights of FIBA competitions. Iceland beginning things here in the second quarter. Stanison had a look. Hermansen, he'll fire a 3. They've made 1. Now make it 2.
I find they shoot much better when they move the ball and get the defense off of them and, you know, drive in the paint. Now they've gone into a zone, a 2-3 zone. France struggled. Who was it against? Poland, who they lost against when they played a zone. So they've taken that out of their book.
Well, Kobo inside the paint, draws a foul. He'll go to the free throw line. A potential 3-point play coming up.
Excuse me, I stand corrected. It was Israel, that played that zone against France, that they lost that game 69-82. Israel put that massive zone with Solkin in the middle and kind of gave them difficulty. So it'll be interesting to see if Iceland stay in it.
Well, Hermansen now splitting the screen. Tries to go around the defense, followed by Hlidersen. A much more aggressive start here from Iceland.
That's nice, that's better. Your head down. Okay, so they stay in the zone.
Well, there's the mid-range.
And how you beat a zone is shoot out of it. And it always intrigues me.
Well, another wide open 3, but again, I mean, it's open. You can understand why he's taking it, but you've got to follow in for offensive rebounds. because France will build their lead. Patient passing here from Les Bleus. Okobo. There's a kick out. There's another three, and France are just on fire, Z. They're cooking.
Yeah, it always intrigues me about how long you stay in the zone. Usually, if a team hits a zone, you come right out of it. There's a foul there underneath against forward. But man-to-man, you get scored on every possession when you don't come out of man-to-man. But zone, some reason, coaches go, oh, no, that's enough. We've got scored on. They change it. But those 3 possessions, they did play zone in a row. And France are able to slice and dice it and shoot out of it.
Well, nice dog. It was intercepted. That's just good defense yet again from France. So Shea goes for another 3. And I don't think they're going to miss anytime soon.
Or slow down offensively. Just different levels. Remember, this is game number 5. It's been a tough tournament for Iceland.
Oh, Hermanson now hits his second one here in the second quarter.
Well, both these teams have struggled from the 3-point line, but starting to heat up here. It's always a nice feeling.
Staying in that zone. Now Francisco. Well, how many points could they end up with today?
They had 36 in the first. They've already got 14 and 7.5 minutes to go.
Already halfway to the century mark, as you mentioned. Well, good defense, but the follow-up by Hlinason. And if Iceland began with this kind of intensity, maybe this could have been a closer game, but still, plenty of basketball to play. Okobo. Well, they force a turnover now. Okobo's going to commit a foul. It's much better from Iceland.
Person under pressure. Here it is, the nice finish. Timothée comes over to help, but he stays with it. That's what you want. Doesn't matter if you get blocked. It usually comes right back to you or gets hit out of bounds so you can reset your offense.
Hermanson tries to find an opening. Getting denied. That goes out of bounds. Iceland will get it back deep on the sideline in the corner.
That's what I'm talking about, the length. You know, it's so difficult for Iceland to score. You drive past the first person and somebody's there to meet you at the rim. Nothing's easy right now.
Here's Jan-Axel Gudmundsson. Time is winding down. There's a pump fake. Has to put up a tough one. Finding the bottom of the net. Well, I think he's quite surprised he made it.
Yeah, a little smile, but even though that's still a hard basket, you know, they're pushing them to the very end of the shot clock.
Okobo working the pick and pop with Loiseau Cabarrot. A little short that time. But again, France getting the offensive board.
Incredible.
And Francisco will go to the charity stripe.
I've really enjoyed Francisco's work coming off the bench. This is the fake. Time running down. He's a lefty, puts it up. It's a good idea to shoot it and at least get it on the rim, but puts up a prayer and it gets answered.
Well, he beat the shot clock. Because one area that he's had struggles with, he does have, respectfully, not as quick a release as, say, Hermanson or Fredriksson, but he's done magnificently to get it off in time. Okobo. Pick and pop with Yabusele. France still leading by 28. Lisa Shea, step back 3. He is on fire at the moment.
Lovely job. Just gets in his bag and gets a step back, knocks it down.
Well, Iceland getting another open look. Just got away with the push in the back. Gudmundsson will go in, and he'll go to the free throw line. Iceland keep on battling. One's going to be on Reese Lachey. Great take in the end. Just a slight little bump, but it's the reward he'll get by making a three-point play. Look at Reese Lachey between the legs, behind the back. Now making his third three-point field goal of the game.
Yeah, and a nice little smile from him. He knows he's in a nice flow, but what isn't nice is those 2 fouls. I don't know if you leave him on just because, why not? He's in a nice rhythm. If you take him out, he kind of comes out of it. And also they're up so much, so Coach Futuk leaves him in the game.
Unable to convert. France have made 7 out of 10 from the three-point line so far here in the first half. Francisco can't make it 8. Quick dribble. Finally, Iceland working diligently to keep France off the offensive rebounds. Foul is good. That's going to be an illegal screen. Wow. Allison's going to get penalized for that one. Change coming in for both teams. Henningsen re-entering play while Bilal Koulibaly has come back in. Checking out will be Zachary Reese-Lachey, who does have 9. He's hit those 3 three-point field goals. What can Francisco build? This has been a monumental first half so far for head coach Freddie Fatu's players. Yabusele, contested 3. But still, Wawu Cabarro finds Koulibaly. And that's going to be the final team foul against Iceland here in the second quarter.
Yeah, and good job from Timothée Wawu Cabarro with sticking with it and gives it to Koulibaly to get that extra possession. So timeout is called here, and you know, it's been a tough first half for Iceland, especially letting them score 36 in the first, but doing a better job on the offensive end, Iceland, as the timeout's been called.
Let's listen now to head coach Freddie Fatu of France.
Tant qu'il n'y a pas le 32, n'hésitez pas à switcher. Okay? Ensuite, en attaque, attention. En ce moment, ça fait 3-4 attaques, on reste toujours là-dessus. N'hésitez pas à envoyer le ballon, le redonner, stretcher, agresser, ressortir. Ok, on est beaucoup trop statique là en haut. Touchez-vous le ballon, dès qu'on a bougé la balle. Et Sylvain, dès qu'on a touché la balle, tous, dès qu'on a avancé, on a trouvé des putains de positions de tir.
Well, here's some highlights from Zachary Reese-Lachey. It was amazing to think that elite level on such an elite team. It's also the maturity to be the 6th man of this team, but you know, that could change as they head into the round of 16. He indeed is such a talented player. He poses such a big three-point threat for any team that they could potentially meet in the crossover when they go to Riga.
Yeah, and I think as they do cross over, him coming off the bench, you have to be worried about, and just his size, his ability to stretch the floor. Also, he'll rest for now.
There's a 3 from Akobo in the corner, make it number 8.
You see what I mean? I like him. I really like him, because you're not going to have him at the top of your scouting report, but you have to respect him. You're worried about, you know, Yabusele, all the rest, but really great job from him, and here he is with the steal.
Oh, nice dive, finds Francisco, reverse, misses. Yabusele offensive rebound. Now a 34-point cushion. That dime was simply prime. Still Iceland trying to work. Allison a contested 3. Nothing falling for Iceland. Still working everything on defense, trying to make things difficult, but France will get it back. Well, all you can do right now is continue to work hard and keep playing. Still plenty of basketball left in this game for Iceland. It's Teo Maledon back in the lineup now here for France.
Well, 58 points right now for France. You know, Iceland's thrown a zone at them.
Cordinia, well, actually Maladon goes in and finishes under intense pressure. 36-point lead with under 4 minutes.
And this is coming from everywhere right now for offense for France. Everyone's on the stat sheet.
Henningsen curls the screen. That goes out of bounds. Now, I think, yeah, Iceland will get it back.
Busile there on the baseline. Here's the drive. Stunning job from Maladou. Quick fast step. So Mam Jete back into the game. He was great those first few 8 points of the French first quarter.
Rasmussen also in the lineup. Rasmussen not going to be a 3-point threat. That's a nice penetration, but just hitting the back iron. These are good looks for Iceland. Now they have to defend. Jete goes in and misses from point-blank range. Oh, you can see Fredriksson running. Rasmussen doesn't get it to him, but he does draw the foul. Well, I like the effort from Elvar Fredriksson.
Yeah.
As soon as they came up with the transition, this is what you talk about, a blue-collar team. He is sprinting as fast as he can to get open.
Really good job there, and then you see the slap down from Yabusele. And Rasmussen will go to the free throw line. His best game yet was 8 points in that Israeli loss, 71-83. Only 24 years old, which is this Iceland team still really young. Average age is 27. So we'll see these guys for Iceland for quite some time.
Yabusele, bumping, goes in. And another trip to the free throw line for France.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was going to say, Yabusele is just such a tough matchup. He's so strong. We don't know his weight, but I'll tell you, it's strong. And he's able to, post up if he's got a shorter guy on him. He's able to stretch the floor and shoot the 3 really well. He can shoot a nice little mid-range jumper. He has the full package for me as an elite player.
And I think after they lost to Israel, you can see the entire French team were in the center court, and he was the man, of course, that was giving the words, the speech to his teammates. And since then, they've been a complete different team. And his physical attributes, which are magnificent. His game, of course, his basketball IQ, but it's also his leadership.
Yeah.
He really does act like, the chief, the big brother to all these players.
Well, he's 29 now. He was part of that Paris team. He's been with these guys, and it's kind of his rite of passage, right? He's kind of done his dues and gone through the motions, and it's time for him to be a good captain, and he's shown that in this group stage.
Iceland's offense a little too stagnant. But there's a pick and roll. That's better. Finding Linusson. And that's a good offense for Craig Peterson's plays.
Wonderful, yeah, excellent job. Really put the defense on their back heels.
Still a 35-point lead. Iceland want to try to cut it down below 30 as much as possible, but Cordinia having a tough matchup, finds a bit of separation. And again, finding the bottom of the net with over 2 minutes.
Knocks it down, and usually he wears a headband, but he had one of those games where he struggled and he took the headband off, and we haven't seen it since. It's those little superstitions as a player.
Fredriksson quickly draws a foul. Now, I don't think that's on Fredriksson. Oh, yeah, it is, yeah, sorry. I felt the foul may have been caught as Linusson was set in the screen, but looks like Elvar Fredriksson. Let's have a look at the replay here.
Lands at the bottom of the shoe. Oh, I don't like. It makes me start to sweat. And just that little tweak. Tough call, obviously, because he's running away, but you have to protect the shooter. They should be allowed to land safely. It's the first down.
Well, Hermansen just on the bench. There's a lot of good things about this Icelandic national team, and I think 2 of those games they played, one against Poland where they had that 3-point lead, they probably could have won that game.
Yeah.
And nobody can argue that they're not playing good basketball. They are playing good basketball, but respectfully, they don't have the same depth And this is a very tough group as well if you think about the other teams. They nearly won against Belgium. They led for 32 minutes. That was probably the game they should have buried when they had a 7-point lead.
Yeah, and maybe that would have been a different moment for them.
Yep.
You know, they get that win where it was super disappointing. That was game day 2. And they lose after leading the entire game to the last, 2 minutes.
Koulibaly, pump fakes. Good defense by Peterson. Now Iceland can run. This is better, more positive basketball. And getting in the paints. Only Peterson contesting for an offensive board. Courtinier. Now Koulibaly, but there's the paint protection by Peterson. Yabusele. Jete trying to make the most of a mismatch, but inadvertently finding Steinason and turning it over. Oh, nice dime goes in, got a finish, and that was just perfect. The pass from Steinason, but the finish not there from Steinason.
Oh, that's upsetting. Foul on the floor. Man, that was a beautifully lovely backdoor pass. Those are the buckets that you need, especially when you're struggling to score. This is why he averages just over 2 blocks a game. He's already got his second. So keeping with his average and leading the Euro basket with block shots. And France, just an outstanding first half. Who do you stop? Iceland's trying to figure it out. Everyone's getting on the scoreboard. And everyone who's played has scored.
35-point lead currently to France. Henningsen. France's defense has been great. This is nice from Henningsen. Oh, yeah, good block. Henningsen felt there was a bit of contact, but Courtinier recovering in time. You see the respect between both players.
Yeah, a lot of contact on that, but wonderful job from Courtinier not to foul.
Well, nice take by Henningsen. Very intelligent. Oh, I like that. Because you saw there Courtinier thought he was either going to set a back screen or come off a curl, but he faked it.
That's a nice play.
Right here, look, fakes it. High IQ, I like that.
If I'm a coach, I'm stealing that one. That's a really lovely out-of-bounds play.
Well, credit to the Icelandic fans. Every game they've been in, most of the games have been very close, but they are truly a hidden gem of a fan base in international basketball.
Fan base, but also as a team, I don't think you can't disrespect Iceland. The pace that they play at, if they get hot from the three-point line, you really, and they play till the very end.
Maladon. Jate's got a mismatch, goes in. Doesn't convert, but another trip to the free throw line for Mam Jate. That's very good of France on every offense, trying to force Iceland to switch defensively and really identify those mismatches. Of course, the man from Ponton, France, was a part of the INSEP Academy, the infamous French basketball academy in Paris, developing many of the greats. Tony Parker, and of course, former NBA player who is actually with us in Katowice with the national team, Boris Diaw. Second free throw good. 28.8 seconds left.
That's 10 points for JT.
Second player for France, along with Elia Kobo, into double figures. 4 seconds difference. High screen yet again. Finds Steinason, good hands. And that's not bad execution at all.
Really nice. Very nice play. There's multiple actions. There's 2 screens at the top, and then the big fella slips down and they get him the ball. I like that play a lot. And everyone has to come over and foul him.
free throw converted by Peterson. Second one is converted as well. 8.6. France leading by 32. Didier has to go quickly. Down the middle, bit of contact goes in, gets rejected. Now, goes out of bounds with 7/10 of a second left. Now the French players are arguing there should be a little bit more time, they believe.
Referees are going to come together, have a little chat about it.
So I think that is what they are going to discuss. Now here's a look at the good hands by Peterson. Just got it before it touched the backboard. See, for me, he's the ultimate insurance policy for any big man in terms of paint protection. Oh no, this is going to go back to Iceland actually. So
it hit the top of the basket is what they're saying, the clock, so it will be out of bounds.
Correct, yep. Well, they don't get it off in time, and that is the end of the first half, where France leads 66-34. Now remember, depending how other games go on in this group, anybody between France, Poland, and Israel can finish first, second, or third. And that will have impact on who they'll meet in the round of 16 as all three teams, including the fourth one of Slovenia, will head to.
Yeah.
Yep. But it will be very interesting. As for France, they are winning by 32 points. But so far, great start from Freddie Fatu's players.
Well, that was an incredible first half from France. Offensively, the first quarter, 36 points. The second quarter, 30. There's their percentages. Really high, 71 from the 2-point strike, 62% from the 3. That's a nice number. They're out-rebounding Iceland 23-17. 12 pretty little assists, and they're turning Iceland over 7 times, and they were able to score 12 points off of those turnovers. And who isn't scoring for France? Okobo and JT leading with 10 points, but everyone who's played, and other than Iffy, hasn't got onto the court. So really just outworking and just waves of energy, and really, you know, Iceland is struggling, but much better second half, second quarter, excuse me, Iceland. They only scored 9 in the first, but 25 in the second. Here's our key players, Josh.
Well, the key matchup, of course, between Yabusele and Peterson, but I think, as you said, Z, you take away that first quarter, this could be a single-digit deficit, because Iceland much better in that second quarter, 25-30 in favor of France. But as you look at the first, you said it's 36-9, but it was a different starting lineup from Iceland.
Yeah, they went something different, maybe. I don't know why, but we don't know that. But it definitely cost them the first quarter. They were out of rhythm, and sometimes that's what happens when you don't start, and all of a sudden you are. It can take some time. That was that nice. The shot clock was running down and got it up. And, you know, he was in the starting lineup. He hasn't started all groups phase person. So interesting to see if they come out in the second half with their regular starting 5, or if they stick with it. But they struggled against the French defense. Man, they were so good.
France's perimeter shooting there, you can see that transition play, but you know, so far, 6 offensive rebounds out of the 23 in total, but 8 out of 13 from downtown is probably one of their best 3-point shooting nights we've seen so far here in the EuroBasket. When they convert from the perimeter, considering how excellent they are in all other areas, that makes them almost unbeatable.
Yeah, it's a problem for other teams if they're knocking down the 3. Like you said, 62%, that's one of their highest, when they're averaging 29%. Also, their strength in numbers, 35 bench points.
We'll be back in just under 12 minutes.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one.
We are all on the same team.
Let's convince those who never thought they would do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Wagner, quick take, gets up there quick for two. Oh. How do you stop Franz Wagner doing that?
And with that missed shot, Larson gets out in front of everyone, and he just hammers that.
And Markkinen just plucks it out of the air. Weiss tried to go with a foul. Markkinen with a throwdown. Daniel Weiss looks at the official, says, well, I fouled him, and the officials, but I didn't call it.
Nice play. Oh, foul goes in for the dunk. There's your big fella. Great pass from Williams. Osman down the baseline. He's left open, so he lets it fly. Şengün with the rebound. We've seen now behind the back pass to J.D. Osman.
We talk about Jokic with having a great feel for passing, but how about dropping it off?
Look at this, Nelson coming up with two.
Oh, and he throws it down to Bello, and there's a real momentum in the gym here. And the Swedish fans with those Great Britain fans loving the moment as Great Britain take the 1-point lead. Schroeder goes long. Oh, touchdown. Daniel Weiss throws the touchdown pass.
Larkin has played a team-high 32 minutes. And, oh, going up and dunking on Osmani. And Serbia back in front.
Jokic, second defender at the rim. You can see the closeout.
Oh, and Jovic just took it right away from Jetty behind the back pass. And Dobrits flies in for the dunk.
Jeff, what a fantastic play.
I think that was a Euro step. And here it is, up ahead, overhead pass to Osmani. Şengün racks up another assist. He's got 7 assists in the first half.
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Welcome back, basketball fans. We're live here in Katowice, Poland for the final game day of Group D, where currently Iceland trails 66-34 against France. Well, the Icelandic players are being led currently by Martin Hermansen, who does have 10 points, and a much better second quarter from Iceland. Only trailing by 5 points in that second quarter, losing 30-25 and playing much more aggressive and fluid basketball. Josh Bennett alongside Xavier Stewart, and Z. If they started like this, this could have been a much different game.
Well, you spoke about the change in their starting lineups. We don't know why, but it definitely got them out of rhythm, and then they came in the second quarter and got themselves back into it. That 9-point quarter is going to kill them. You know, you can't drop only 9 points, but also you didn't defend on the other end and let France just overwhelm you and score 36 in a quarter. That is a lot.
Well, Martin Hermansen, of course, playing for Alba Berlin in the Easy Credit Bundesliga, will be with them next season, and he will be playing in the Basketball Champions League, his debut season in season number 10. Right now, they're going to need something, some form of a run to try and find the first victory for them at the EuroBasket. Meanwhile, Man JT, what an unbelievable start he's had tonight.
Yeah, really good. And solid post player, 6'10", and 30 years old. And there's some nice moves that he really came out early in that first quarter and scored those 8 points off their first 10. And just a strong body, great around the rim. I like the matchup between him and Henderson and the post players going at it. So good for him. He's been solid for this French team also. This is his highest scoring game for France already.
Of course, 10 points, 4 rebounds to go to his name, as well as 1 block, a steal, and an assist. And as you mentioned, very productive performance. And what I like about him, he's been able to really test Trygve Henderson, who in my mind has been one of the best paint protectors so far in this group. But they can see converting 4 of those field goals from within inside the paint. He is also 2 for 4 from the free throw line. And this is big for him because when they go to the round of 16 and however far they go from there, they're going to need big moments from him inside the paint. There's a lot of good centers in the EuroBasket Stadium.
Yeah, I think that's such a good point. You know, as much as the game has changed in where your big fella, your 6'9s, your 6'10s, your 7 foots are able to stretch the floor and shoot the 3, there's still, you need that traditional old school post player that every team has at least one. So he's, stepping up for France and doing a lovely job. I feel like his hands just need to be a little bit better because his teammates do find him on the roll, but turns it over sometimes. But either way, dominant first half for him.
Down by 32. If it's one thing Iceland never do, they never give up. They always play for pride. And you have to appreciate what Craig Peterson has done for this national team. They almost qualified for the Basketball World Cup back in 2023. They were 1 3-pointer away from doing so. They made it here to the EuroBasket, but there's nothing that you can't say about this team that isn't good, of course. They give everything. And positive play in the second quarter, all they can do is keep playing.
Yeah, I think that's all lovely points. And, they do. They play really, really hard. I think they could get out and transition a little bit better, but it's so difficult with how long France are. I don't think they've played a team like France where 1 through 5, they switch, they're active on defense and you finally think you're going to get a good looking shot and it gets blocked at the rim. France have 5 blocks already, so offensive, has come a little bit difficult than usual. They are shooting a better clip from the 3-point line, which is, they live and die by the 3, Iceland.
Probably need a little bit more from Elvar Fredriksson. He is 3 out of 3 from the free throw line, does have that 1 mid-range, but with their 3-point shooting, they may not be converting as well as they would like to be doing at the moment, but the thing I appreciate, they get good looks on the perimeter. Now, this is very difficult, especially against a very good defensive team like France. And granted, France have 66 points in a EuroBasket game by halftime. That is not common. That just goes to show how elite this team is. But going to France's defense, they're tough inside the paint, they contest, and what makes them tough is they run in transition whenever they come up with a defensive rebound, a turnover, or a loose ball.
Well, what I did like with Iceland, when they had multiple actions, meaning 2 screens at the top and maybe a back screen or something flashing, you've got to move France, or you've got to first of all spread the floor so they're not clogging up the paint, but multiple actions they've had success with.
Well, we're just under 2 minutes away from getting this game back underway in the second half. Remember, France, Israel, and Poland, all 3 teams on this final game day. Anybody can cement that top position. We'll try to keep you updated as games further progress.
And Slovenia.
And Slovenia as well, yeah.
Yes. And France, if they can win this game, and obviously they've got to hope Slovenia beats Israel and Poland beats Belgium, then they'll be first in this group. So that's very interesting. as long as they get their job done. But they can be first or third. So
let's listen now to head coach Freddie Fatu.
Okay? And after that, listen, some more horns chest, all right? And also 2 pop, so we're coming out and then pop into Trigby and then get the action going. And then Martin, you can go split screen here or take that step and go get it this way. Attack the paint. Let's go!
Well, a little change up in France's starting lineup. They're going to bring Iffy into the starting lineup. Did not play in the first half, so he's going to change out for Okobu in the starting lineup. And you know, Iffy was the last to get cut from this EuroBasket team as
well, fans, scan that QR code and download the official FIBA EuroBasket app. Download it. You can follow your favorite players, your favorite teams, get all the best news, highlights, and content. Download it on your smartphone, your tablet, or Android using that QR code. The official FIBA EuroBasket app.
And if he got pulled back into the lineup after Strazel got injured, so great moment for him.
Well, here we go. Second half underway. France lead by 32. We're live at the Spodek Arena. Final game day of Group D here at the EuroBasket. Dear Iffy, Lisa Shea's made 3. That's a little too short. Great work by Iceland. Anytime you can prevent France from getting an offensive board, that is a huge plus. Nice backdoor play, and that's a good way to begin the second half for Iceland.
Great job, and that's what I just spoke about. At halftime, I said you need to stretch the floor and have multiple actions. They must have heard me. Lovely wide open layup.
France patiently just trying to get into a good set. Maladon off a screen, 3 is up. But again, the offensive rebound should have been collected by Henningsen, but giving it right to Risa Shea, who now has 11 points. He now leads France in scoring, 3 players in double figures. Cleanerson finds Powelson. Now he can make these. Not a bad look at all, but just can't find it.
You're right, great look. Defense wasn't there, shoot it.
Iffy, he'll pull up for 3. They've made 8, now make it 9 for France.
Lovely job from Iffy. I saw him at halftime doing laps as he was trying to get himself warm.
Foul is going to be called against Risa Shea. Risa Shea matching up with Martin Hermanson. Here's the backdoor play finding Henningsen.
You see how they're all spread out and lots of space. Here's Iffy's first bucket. That means everyone scored.
Hermanson now making another 3-pointer, and now he moves to 13 points, leading scorer tonight.
Yeah, rattles that one in. And like we said, Iceland aren't going to give up. They're going to play hard.
Maladon finds Jete, gets bumped. Again, tough finish by the big fella.
And see, that's what I don't like about being a post player, you know? They're assuming just because he's big, he should be making that, but that's a foul.
He definitely had to work through the adversity. Iceland turning it over. Here comes Risa Shea. Goes in, throws it down with one hand. That is how you convert turnovers into fast break points.
And, you know, Boustele fouls him, but catches him out of bounds. And that's what I'm talking about, where you see him smiling. He knows he's made a mistake. This is the lovely step back 3.
Well, there was a turnover. Iceland go for another 3. Still down by 36. France just want to keep on building this lead as big as possible.
Yeah, trying to do a Spanish pick and roll. Didn't work that time.
Iffy made his last 3. Henderson just doing a good job there, preventing another offensive rebound. But France have got to defend here. Nice backdoor play. Henningsen getting denied by Risa Shea. What a block.
Yeah, good understanding.
Well, Risa tried to orchestrate the transition. France's offense that time was a little too static. There was nobody to kick out to. Maladon. Well, Iceland scrambling for possession.
Good work from Iceland.
Paulsen going for a quick one in the corner. It's just not going to go.
One thing Iceland's going to do is shoot the three.
Both fans, the French and the Icelandic fans, getting into this. Finds Jete. Another foul. And yet again, he will go to the free throw line.
Good patience there from France. Yabusele driving the baseline and then finding Jete. Look here, the two defenders have to come over to stop him. Nice backdoor, but good timing. That's tough when you're going against a long lean. Jete, we're at 6'9".
Well, luxury, sometimes a nightmare when you have too many talented players, but one thing is for sure, they have been magnificent tonight. Jete unable to hit the second one.
I was saying nightmare for other teams. But
that's the case as well, yeah.
I get what you were saying. Like, how do you find it? And, you know, they did struggle. They did struggle in that loss against Israel. There's a foul on the floor here. And, yeah, I felt like in their rotations, you really saw that they had random kind of fives where they had been playing 12 deep and it didn't look good. Here's the slap down from Yabusele. What's that on him? That's 3 fouls on
Risa Shea also 3, but you know, see, going back to France, I've said this. I say this about every great team. At some point, you have to go through a roadblock. You have to stumble because you need to be able to learn from your mistakes. As Iceland unable to get that three-pointer, Risa Shea comes up with it. We saw it with Serbia last night against Turkey, and you know, maybe the one losses that these good teams have. Remember, once you get to the round of 16, you've got to win 4 in a row to be champion.
Well, and also, it's do or die in the round of 16 as there's a foul on the floor. You've got to win that first game.
Yeah.
You know, you have to. But yeah, you're right. They were tested in the Israel game. You did the press conference and Coach Futuk said he wasn't impressed and happy with their intensity.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't.
Their energy.
The words were attitude, but you're right.
Attitude,
yeah, I mean,
excuse me.
it's the same connotation, of course, but you know, that could have been a learning block for them. They could have grown from that as Maladon unable to hit the three-pointer. Jete battling, and a foul is going to be called against Kari Janssen.
Well, and that's what you want, right? They came right back out the following game and beat Poland, and this was a hostile environment. It was a packed house. It was so loud. At points, I couldn't even hear myself, and they came in and won that game 83-76. So it was a tough win, but that's the answer that you want for a head coach, and your team loses and they bounce right back. Wonderful job.
There's a kick out. If he's made 1 3, and he'll make another one. Beautiful offense by France.
Really good. The drive, the defense have to respect the ball and kick out wide open.
40 points, the separation between these two teams. Iceland getting in the paint. Yep, traveling violation. And it's a good initiation by Gunnarsson, but I think he was expecting Gunnarsson to become an option when he went down the middle, but unfortunate case there for Iceland. France's defense, it has been magnificent tonight. Yabusele. Remember, he does have 3 fouls, just like Risa Shea tonight. Iffy. Fadeaway contact, but unable to get the @1. But again, free throws yet again here for France.
Iffy's constant movement, you know, it just keeps that dribble alive, then feels the contact. Look at here, he just kind of probes the big guy, see what happens, and feels that little bump, and a good decision. He is a lefty. We've got some nice lefties in this group. Able to knock the shot down. So he'll go to the line, and you know, he started this third quarter, already got 6 points, didn't play in the first, came out at halftime and was out here before the rest of the team and was running laps because he'd just sat for an hour. So get the blood moving, and clearly it's working.
I like the story about this young man's career. Beginning with ASM Le Portel, one of the infamous clubs of the French. Well, they're no longer in the Pro A, of course, but because he was at the EuroBasket last week. Nice backdoor play, and that is much better from Iceland. 15 points tonight from Mont Hermansen. A big performance from the Alba Berlin player.
That's better. Those are the things that France struggle with. The multiple action plays.
Triple change coming up for Iceland. Allison will be coming back in. Iffy, another step back. Rebound secured by Hlinason. Hermansen looking to run quick. No look diamond again, a 4-0 run from Iceland. And that is what you get from Mont Hermansen. He will play up tempo.
And that's Iceland's style, right? We've seen that all in the groups phase where they're able to get the defensive rebound and get going. That works in their favor.
Francisco, tough pass, but finds Jalen Horde. If he left uncontested, corner three, and that's beautiful. Third one tonight for Nadir Iffy. 41-point lead currently to France. Iceland going into that dribble handoff. Goodison. That's a good penetration. France want to run. Reese Lachey, he'll go in, he'll finish under intense pressure.
Oh man, that's so quick. I like him. I'm going to make sure I watch him as he's at the Atlanta Hawks this season.
Nice thing again by Goodison. Those are two strong penetrations, but the defense by Yabusele making it near impossible for Iceland. Yabusele, three in transition. Just hitting the front iron.
Little back and forth here, quite fast. Foul from San Francisco. But a couple, 2-3 minutes, both teams going up and down, up and down, up and down. So here is the nice backdoor, perfectly executed, where you set your defender up and then go backdoor, then the little dime. Nice little piece of a couple of scores from Iceland. They're going to bring in those three players that you talked about. And Axel Gunnarsson is going to wait for
Well, Iceland feel like it should be free throws coming, but it's going to be a baseline possession. Fredriksson back in the lineup, along with Allison.
Anderson is arguing his point, so he thought he was on the line, but this is the sub coming in for him.
Jan Axel Gudmundsson, as you mentioned, checking back in for Iceland. Trailing by 43, but where they have had some success is from the backcourt, finding those gaps and, you know, penetrating into France's defense. Well, there's a deep three. Iffy coming up with a loose ball. Over 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. France, 86 points so far yet. Yabusele has a mismatch. Goes in. That's just too big, too strong, and just too dominant.
Yeah, and you've got to bring a double team for me. He's going to kill anyone in the low block, and they don't bring one, and he makes them pay.
And of course, taking Hlinason to the bench kind of leaves their paint protection a little bit vulnerable. This is much better from Iceland. Gudmundsson coming up with the offensive board. They'll go for another three. This one's up. Finding the 50-50. Well, they'll go for another one. Finally counting. Tucked away by Goodison.
Oh, we've seen time and time again, Iceland keep shooting the three-point shot. There's not a three they don't like.
Still over 2 minutes left, and France have 88 points here in the third quarter. Francisco finding Jalen Horde. Quickly in the paint. That's very well defended. And Iceland looking to counter. Gudmundsson kicks out. Not a high percentage from there, but that's a baseline penetration. Well, they'll go for another three from Allison. Well, these are good looks. They're getting open looks on the perimeter. Now Hoy twisting, turning, going in. Iceland again, trying to stress the point from the perimeter, but not dropping.
And at what point do you go, okay, let's try something else? But, you know, it's their style. I've called for different things, but it's their blueprint.
Well, here's a man who's made 3 tonight. France coming up with an offensive board. Koulibaly, he'll fire a 3. Game just going through a bit of a dry spell for both teams, but it is still a 44-point advantage.
Well, both teams settling.
Or 42, I should say, excuse me, yep.
Yeah, settling for the 3-point shot, and it's not falling.
Iceland's attempted 25. They've only made 6. Well, they'll go for a 26th. Potentially a 2-for-1 coming for France. There's the alley-oop at Koulibaly, connects with it. Well, that's one way to get the offense back into gear.
Wow, that's a perfectly thrown pass from Iffy to Koulibaly. It's the pass that makes it easy, and a steal.
Iceland just carelessly turning it over. 3 seconds difference between both game and shot clock. Francisco. Got it by Jan Axel Gudmundsson. Still has it. Looking for that ISO. A few pump fakes. It just rolls its way in and out, but it goes out of bounds. France will get it back with 3.6. Double change made by Freddie Fatu. Here's the alley-oop.
Yeah.
Indeed, just threw it up.
Watch it. It's perfect. That's a lovely camera angle. Thank you for that. But look, he perfectly throws it to Koulibaly. That's lovely. Well done, Iffy. Good minutes. 11 points for him.
Final seconds. Cordier, dream hook, not going to go. But indeed, France lead currently by big numbers, leading 90-46 against Iceland. Still, we have 10 minutes to play here. Final game day in Group D at the Spodek Arena at the 2025 FIBA EuroBasket. France have been magnificent.
Yeah, a French deluxe or delight, greatness of offensive flurry in their percentages here. 68% from 2, 46 is one of their highest yet from the 3-point shot. Getting to the free throw as well. Iceland, on the other hand, they're going to keep shooting those threes. They're 6 from 26. And there is the third quarter best plays. And, you know, we went back and forth for a little bit there. And the moments that Iceland are good is when they're shooting their threes in rhythm, meaning it's a drive and a kick and multiple actions. But France just put on a beautiful what do you want to call it? A beautiful offense, beautiful
showcase. Yeah.
You know, sensational, voila, we love it, either way.
And I think one thing to highlight about France, they've only turned the ball over tonight a total of 4 times. They've done a really good job of keeping possession, and also they've been very clinical. Every offense really has counted. In total, they have 10 offensive boards, but what's interesting about Iceland, the fight is there. They have more offensive rebounds than France, so they're giving everything. It's just the conversion rate in their offense just hasn't been anywhere near the productivity of what France has given tonight.
Okay, that's a great point, and that's a stat that they can be proud of, that they are hitting the boards, but also very difficult. Go ahead.
Well, so fans, scan that QR code, download Courtside 1891, where you can watch the rest of the FIBA EuroBasket as we head to Riga for the round of 16 and so on. Courtside 1891. You can get all the best live streams and extended highlights of FIBA competitions. Going back to what you're saying, though, see, of course, and we've said this already, France went through the hiccup. That game against Israel, where Israel were magnificent, defeating France and really beating them in the 4th quarter. And that could have been the turning point for them. We saw a magnificent performance from Gershon Yabusele against Poland. But as I said, when the top 4 teams go to Riga, you got to win 4 in a row to lift the EuroBasket championship.
And France were the runners-up, you know, so they want to get back there. And the right idea.
Paulson wanted to flash out to the perimeter. There you can see the pass from Gunnarsson. Well, it could have been a good opportunity for Iceland.
Well, it's the last game day here. All the two other groups, you know, Lithuania are going to play Latvia. That game is going to be, wow, in Riga. That's going to be rocking. Germany play Portugal, Serbia play Finland, and Turkey play Sweden.
Francisco. Joao Caballero penetrates, finds Cordier. There's another three. Iceland, unfortunate not to come up with a rebound, so France will have a baseline inbound. There's a look at the replay. Watch. Wow.
Two players going for it.
One of them could have got it. In the end, both of them. More miscommunication. Koulibaly finding Cordier. Cordier had an open look. Goes baseline. This time, Fredriksson comes up with it.
Good decision to pull out the ball. Oh.
Koulibaly just intercepting, getting fouled. It's quite a nervy start here for Iceland. And you know, it's your final 10 minutes here at the EuroBasket. Just, you want to say give it everything, but you got to keep things composed.
And that's a risky pass, a cross-court pass at the halfway line, and we've seen it multiple times where you turn the ball over against France, they're gonna make you pay. They've turned Iceland over 12 times today and scored 16 points off of those turnovers.
Ford kicks out. Iceland trying to contest every three-point shot. Francisco. Still time here for France, though. Joao Caballero. I appreciate that defense from Iceland, making everything tough. While going coast to coast and throwing it down with one hand. Big-time dunk coming from Rastason.
Oh, what a good job, coast to coast. The defense doesn't get back. Knocks the rim, that's lovely.
France forcing the switch. There's a hesitation. What a dive. Cordier wide open. And another big offensive board. Joao Caballero counted, and he'll go to the free throw line. Tough play indeed.
Yeah, Timothée reverse, but then the push, so a dangerous fall. Comes up, holding his elbow. And this is the lovely coast to coast. Nearly makes Jalen Hoard a post up. And that's something that the Icelandic fans can celebrate.
And it's what you said, they're blue-collared, they never give up because, you know, considering now you're down by as many points as you are, trailing 92-48, you could easily throw the towel in because it's your final quarter at the EuroBasket. You haven't won a game in 3 appearances, but this is what we must pay homage to Iceland. They battle, they play, and the fans, they love every moment of it. Fredriksson, nice penetration, getting the jump hook.
And, you know, there was a nice interview with Iceland about just them being on, you know, on the map and teams having to really respect them, come in. You can't, you know, take them for granted because there's a foul on the floor. If they do get hot from the three-point line, you've got a problem.
Yeah.
You know, they're not afraid of shooting the ball. And if you like it or not, I'm an old school type of person. I think if you're missing 3-4 in a row, then you should do something different, get in the paint or drive. But they don't do that. They stick to their print of we're going to shoot an early three, and however it looks, they let it fly.
Akobo. Just had that double-double in that game against Poland. Now pulls up from 17. Because what France don't want to do at the moment is take their foot off the gas because you want to finish as strong as possible. As now Paulson has a three. And he tucks that one away. Some positives that these players can definitely take away. Remember, next up for Iceland, starting in November, will be the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. Akobo Finding Horde on the mismatch between two players, and somehow, someway, still finds a way to get the and one.
That's really tough because this is a double team here. Really, you should let it get out, but elevates. This is the three that comes out and knocks down. Paulsen has had some really nice moments for Iceland. So has Horde. He knocks that down. His best game was 12 points versus Israel. And he had that massive slam dunk, didn't he, against Poland? That was really nice.
Well, the thing about France is,
yes,
with the offensive talent they have, they've only scored over 100 points once so far here in the group, and that was against Slovenia. With 7:09 to go, it's probably inevitable they are going to get over 100. And you look at this scoring. I mean, there's one, I can't remember which game it was, the bench production had 73 points on it. I mean, they're a tough team to play against. And you got to think, going into the round of 16, a lot of teams are going to have to figure out how do we defend this team, because one of the inconsistencies they have is from the three-point line. Now, they've been very well tonight, but I wonder, whoever they go up against in the round of 16 and so on, however far they go, is that going to be something opponents are going to think? What kind of zone matchups can we play against this team?
Yeah, and today they have 57 points from the bench. It's definitely a strength for France, where they're able to go deep into their bench and multiple guys can really start for this team, you know, and have stepped up, and that's the energy they're going to need. You talked about that loss versus Israel, that they didn't come in. I think the biggest lesson that taught them, as we see the energy tracker on the screen, is you have to come in from minute one. You can't think you're the big boss and we're great. No. You have to respect everyone. You have to come in with energy, and that's something you can't coach. You've got to be tough. You've got to do all the little things that aren't on the stat sheet, and that's what they can take going into the round of 16.
Fredriksson coming off a double screen. Paulsen made his last three. 4-point play potentially coming up for Paulsen. That's good execution.
Right out of the timeout and get the hot hand for Paulsen. Let's see. I think if anything, it's just his landing space. That's a tough call. But in the end, big though, out of the timeout to get a three and knock the free throw down. 4-point swing. Lovely. As Iceland are winning this quarter.
Paulsen played at Morris College. The only season he played pro basketball outside of Iceland was 22-23. Fredriksson, good defense by Iceland, but they turn it over again. Wawu Cabarro going in. He'll finish this one. 97 points for France. Just over 3.5 played here in the fourth and final quarter. France leading by 40 points. Coulibaly just trying to be a nightmare on defense. Fredriksson, step back. Now they're flying in yet again here for Iceland.
That's lovely. Over Horde's hand. Really nice shot.
9 out of 29 from the three-point line tonight for Iceland. France is trying to figure out something. Even with this a big advantage, they've got to keep playing. Cordivier going in for the follow-up. But you got to box out. Something, of course, France are going to be very good at. We've seen that. Fredriksson, number 10, almost got it. Coulibaly just securing the rebound.
He's going to get 100.
Coulibaly down the middle, throws it down. No help side defense was going to take a charge. Iceland quickly respond.
Nobody's playing defense right now, but Coulibaly takes them to the 100 points with a lovely dunk. And when I was playing, whoever hit 100 points had to bake something for the team. Yeah, had to make a banana bread one time.
Akobo finding Cordivier. Final seconds. Penetrates. Has to get the shot off. And he's able to find the glass. He felt there was contact. And Iceland are going to call timeout. Down by 41 with 4:57 to go, but Koulibaly, I mean, his head almost is at the same level as the rim. The elevation.
Well, the runway just opened up, didn't it? Get out the way, because it's going to come in. And maybe a little bit of sadness from Iceland's fans. And they have been fantastic. That's one thing we can say. They've been here every single game in this Group D. Over 2,000 of them in their blue jerseys. No doubt, made noise, and we really have to congratulate them. That support is elite.
And the French fans, they've been magnificent as well. They're sitting just behind France's bench. You can see Koulibaly fans' name on the jersey. Because just behind him, you can see fans holding up the French flag. You made a good point, Z. They made it to that final back in Germany in 2022. Because Juancho Hernan Gomez had a terrific night from the three-point line. Because they made it to the final of the Olympics last summer. Weren't able to get to the finals in Manila in the World Cup. But with this team, you got to think they have a very good chance of not only getting to the final, but who knows, maybe lifting the 2025 FIBA EuroBasket Championship.
Well, it's not going to be easy, but these games for France, they need to create good habits going into the round of 16 as they finish off this last 4 minutes and 45 seconds.
France in the zone. There's a three in the corner, Jan Axel Gudmundsson. Rebound secured by Thrastason. Gudmundsson twisting, nice move, and beautiful finish. Well, they just keep on playing. Kobo now will just easily find his way inside the paint as he's able to extend the lead for France yet again.
Yeah, help defense has disappeared for both teams. I think they're just kind of playing it out here.
Well, France have now scored their most points here at the 2025 FIBA EuroBasket. They had 103 against Slovenia. They now have 105. Still 4 minutes to go here in the fourth.
Probably be going after that highest record that Germany set, I think, against Great Britain. I'm gonna have to go dig in my bag of what the highest score is. That could be fun. They could beat that.
Well, the shot not dropping. France still trying to get ahead. Jete, spin it baseline. Now foul is going to be called against Paulson, so the question is, yeah, that's going to be free throws because Iceland had put France into the penalty.
120.
Well, it is possible. I mean, they need 12 to get to that record.
Yeah. Jete, and I feel you. Just got to blow the air out as this has been a tough game for Iceland. Icelandic fans doing their job though. Booing and trying to put off Man at the free throw line. And it works.
3:30 to go. France putting on a bit of full court pressure. Nelson had a good look from the corner, decided not to pull the trigger. There's a three. Nelson coming up with it, not giving up, but just unable to convert the second chance points. Akobo. There's another three. Both teams both competing to their credit, of course. That's only going to be the second team foul against France here with 3:05 in the fourth quarter.
Here's the foul. Maybe just that arm in there. Referee's called that.
Oh, nice dime, wide open. Going through, but the rejection coming from Cordidier.
You've got to put that up quicker. Help defense coming over.
Risa Shea in the corner, another three. Foul is going to be, oh, it's going to be against Jete. Well, he was locked up with Atlason.
Let's see here. he's on the backside there. Let's see. Aha, he just hooked that last second. Here's the help coming from Collier. Isaiah.
Still France in a 2-3 matchup zone.
Okay.
Again, flashing down the middle. Tucked away in the end.
I kind of like this for France trying new things on the defensive end that they might have to go to in the round of 16, but Iceland finding a way.
Kobo bumps. He's able to finish that one. 110 points now for France. Numbers here for Kobo. Finds Cordier. He'll throw it down easily. Just how quickly they convert that turnover into transition points.
Great job from Okabu stealing that ball.
Cody Janssen. Every rebound France comes up with, they try to get ahead. Now it's going to go back to Iceland. France turning it over.
Oh, here's the steal. Snatches it right out of his crossover, and then the dime. He is averaging just under 6 assists, Okabu. So he'll go to the bench. Yes, that's a good day at the office for him. With 14 points, 5 assists as Iffy comes into the game.
Bjornsson. Another rebound secure for France. Almost a minute and a half to go here. Lisa Shea. Icelandic fans, you can hear them loud and proud. They've been magnificent for every game so far here in Katowice. Jete losing his balance. Intelligent defense.
Yeah, good defense. Right out.
Foul has been called, so free throws coming up here for Iceland.
Well, great defense on the other end. We call that pulling the chair out. So Jete loses his balance and Iceland get out in transition. Put pressure on the rim. And Bollinger is sadly, as they play, hit the road jack. He is fouled out and has to go to the bench. That's his game finished. Finishes with 10 points. As he pleads his case, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 17 minutes. Don't come back no more.
Well, 1:15 to go here in the fourth quarter. Henningsen making the first free throw. There's 2 more exciting games to come up later this evening in the Spodek Arena. We are in the city of Katowice, Poland, the final game day of group play.
Well, our next game is Israel, Slovenia. Like you said, this group, 4 teams have qualified already, but it's the seeding in this group is still up for grabs. France, Slovenia, Israel, and Poland.
Maladon finding Iffy. He has to go for a tough fadeaway 3. Now we are under a minute. Iceland keep running. Here's the play by Thrusterson. And second time tonight in transition. Flying and dunking it.
Yeah, and he smiles. Maladou finishes, but he smiles with Koulibaly. He says, thanks for letting me dunk that. I'm not trying to block it.
Nice dime and another dunk. Well, 2 back-to-back throwdowns. This time it's Atlason.
Well, both teams just want to complete their highlight reel, it seems like, huh?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Showcase. France are going to have to shoot something because there's time. 8 seconds between game and shot clock. Koulibaly. Loau Camaro. Shea try to follow up. Iceland will go for one final play. Rasmussen, reverse dunk, and that will end their EuroBasket with a showcase.
Rasmussen just completing his 3 highlight dunks, and that will do it.
Well, there you have it. France win their final game, 114-74 against Iceland. Still more games to decide who will finish top, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. For the teams heading to Riga for the round of 16 here in the 2025 FIBA EuroBasket. But see, you know what? Iceland still a third EuroBasket, no victories, but they played as well as they could have done. They gave it everything.
And that's all you can ask for me. I felt like they were just, you know, moments that greatness, and you have to be wary of, and disappointment in that Belgium game where they lead the whole time and they drop off in the last 2 minutes, and I really do think that would have changed their momentum in the group stage. They played Poland very, very well. Slovenia, also a good game. They can walk out of here of this Group D with their heads held very high.
Well, a lot for them to be proud of. That game against Belgium, as you mentioned, for 32 minutes they led. They could have won that game, but it wasn't meant to be. And they took a 3-point lead with only a few minutes left against Poland. While for France, the leader yet again, Gershon Yabusele, knows that it's a big win, but still the job is not done.
Yeah, and he, you know, points to his head. I think maybe just talk about how smart this is, the moment to keep building. And Iceland will celebrate and sing a traditional song that talks about a tale of somebody coming home. And this is a beautiful moment. Kind of brings tears to my eyes that they can celebrate this moment even though it's tough. But the fans have been wonderful, done their job here in the EuroBasket. They've celebrated it and they've played so hard. So a tale of somebody coming home as their EuroBasket is finished here today.
And that's beautiful, of course, because you mentioned 2,000 of them have made the journey from Iceland. It's not a short flight from Iceland here to the Baltic here in Poland, but you know what? A lot of people have been speaking about them. They are a hidden gem of a basketball fan base. Here are the stats from the game. France, 12 out of 31 from the three-point line. They only had 4 in the second half, but they were 33 out of 48 from inside the rainbow. And the rebound count, no surprise there, Z, 48 to 38. I mean, you'd expect that with Freddie Fatu's players.
Yeah, 24 assists, that's a lovely number. They also turn over Iceland 14 times and score 20 points off of those turnovers.
Well, this is the beauty of international basketball here at the EuroBasket. And you can see and feel the emotion. Those players, well, we'll see them yet again, as mentioned. It's not done for them. It may be over for the EuroBasket, but Doha, that is going to be the next objective. They came close to getting to the 2023 Basketball World Cup. 1 three-pointer in Tbilisi, Georgia, would have booked their tickets. The smallest country to ever participate in the EuroBasket. You got to think, the future for Icelandic basketball. It's bright, it's exciting, it's physical, and they're going to be around and try to get to Doha, Qatar next.
And they can look back at this EuroBasket and they have some, you know, lovely moments where there's been quarters that they've won, 33 points to 27 offensive points for them in their last game. They had great, you know, offensive movements where in transition, beautiful, they're fast. They love the three-point shot, and I can only celebrate them because I felt like they've given it their all. And sometimes, you know, it just doesn't fall your way where you can't walk away with at least one win. But man, they have made the name on their chest. Iceland, so proud. Here's the fourth quarter, best plays. And this quarter, Iceland won 28 to 24. A really good job from them where, like I said, there's moments where they can celebrate and look back on this EuroBasket where they can just be really, really proud. Tough group for Iceland.
Of course it was a tough group. I mean, great teams. You got Poland, Israel, Slovenia, and Belgium as well. Belgium came back, and that was their best game, even through the adversity. But coming in to compete against this French national team is a big ask for any team. And, you know, whoever their opponents will be, they will be great games as they go up against France. There's no doubt about it, no question.
No, well, we have to celebrate and congratulate France. They get the job done here. That was the most important thing. They get their 4th win, and they have to watch the other 2 games to see if they go first in this group. So no doubt they'll be watching later on.
Well, there's another exciting game coming up that could have implications on this game that we've just seen. We will be seeing Israel up against Slovenia. Like I said, the 4 teams that will be going to Riga for the round of 16. Today they will find out, depending on results, who their opponents will be.
So France needs Slovenia to beat Israel and Poland to beat Belgium for them to be at the top.
Well, not impossible, but we will obviously look at the standings. France now with a record of 4-1, and as Azania just said, depending how the next 2 games go, could very well, hinder how those standings look. But there is 1 or 2 final games coming up, 2 very exciting games. Israel against Slovenia next, and then our host Poland will indeed take on Belgium. We'll see you for the next game very soon.